Hi, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Flex and Reflect Sunday Sit Down. This is your first time every Sunday. I like to sit down, answer the questions that have been sent in to me from around the world. I've been asked by my clients, and that might be of interest to people there. So I've got 7 questions to get through today. So let's get straight into it. How can wearable technology be used to enhance fitness tracking and overall health monitoring? Well, I guess this is something you can just Google and see what are the different options. But look, it's changing all the time. Like I'm an Apple fan, so I wear an Apple Watch, and since I've had it, I think this is a version 6 and up to 9 now. They keep adding things into the app, which I think is really cool, and into the watch. For me, I'm left brain, which is facts, numbers, statistics, tracking of information, because the data doesn't lie, right? So the more that we can get information around, whether it's our movement, health, heart rate, steps, all that kind of stuff. I think back to when I first started doing this type of tracking, if you like. The very first thing is I'm watching my cat at the same time. Whiskers, come here, boy. Good boy. Um, was the steps. I wanted to know. I mean, we had no idea at the time, like how many steps are we walking? How do you know? And maybe you had a heart rate monitor that you wore with the strap and all that kind of stuff. And so it started there, and then it sort of graduated to other things. Personally, I like to see, so what's the baseline? Like sometimes I'll wear it during sleep to see how does it track my sleep? What's my deep sleep, REM cycles, all that kind of stuff, just to give me an idea of like when you get up in the morning, you feel, oh, well, still feel really tired, or I feel well rested. Um, you like some of those things you think, well, how can you influence, say, your sleep, for instance? Well, if you see a pattern of what's going on, and let's just say that you're a bit haphazard with when you go to bed, and when you're getting up, and it's irregular and stuff, you can start to use that information to see, how can I get better quality deep sleep? You can experiment with a few things before you're going to sleep and say, okay, did that impact my sleep? Foods that you're eating, did that impact my sleep last night? Because the quality of deep sleep that we get, and the number of hours of deep sleep prior to midnight, is really beneficial for our reducing inflammation in our body and those sorts of things. So I guess I look for the like the fundamentals in the technology, and it's just data. Like I can look at my resting heart rate, I can see what's the average steps that I'm taking, which is about movement. I can again see my sleep patterns. I mean, there's other things there you can do. Hold your finger on the button and get your defibrillation rate, and that's not right. Um, check check the your heart rhythms and that kind of thing, to see whether there's any issues there at a sort of a high level, because it's not a medical device. Um, and I just think those sorts of things give you some sort of baselines. But of course, depending on what the base of that question is, you need to do all of these things in conjunction with your GP. And so I have an annual physical. I just got it's actually my birthday tomorrow, and so I use my birthday as the not the day to go and have the blood test, but as the reminder that I need to have my annual physical. And so that is like skin checks and everything. My doctor's also a surgeon. He goes over the whole body. I have the blood tests, any age appropriate tests for me, and like blood pressure, all that kind of stuff, which is never a problem for me because I'm healthy. But if you don't have these things, then you just assume perhaps that everything is okay, or the older you get, you become a bit scared. It's like putting your head in the sand. Like if I don't ask, I don't know, so I'm okay, which is obviously just silly. So I think in conjunction with that, knowing that, okay, well, any medical test they do on me, I'm good. And then it's just a case of, okay, is my heart rate coming down, which is generally a sign of cardiovascular fitness improvement. And, there are some other things just I use to track movement and that kind of stuff. So I think it can be valuable. I think if you're looking for it to completely change your world and your life, I mean, you've got to focus on the fundamentals. long-term sustainable health. All right, next question. What are the psychological benefits of setting micro goals in fitness and wellness routines? Well, crucial, because if you think about, like, I get clients that come to me that have very, very big goals in terms of if they're coming for weight loss, and let's just say, it's 50 kilos plus, 70 kilos, 100 kilos, which is, some big numbers. Then in order for somebody to get to that position, there's normally a lifetime of habits. It could be 10, 20 plus years of habits that have caused them to get to where they are. And if you just keep focusing every day, you get up and you focus on that big number, it's 50 kilos, it's 50, it's 50, it's 50, that's going to wear you down, because that could take you anywhere between maybe a year, 2 years to do that, depending on your individual situation. So if you don't have any micro goals, as you asked the question here, in between that, you're going to fail at some point, because it's going to wear you down. But if you can focus on, okay, well, let's just say the first habit, I'm working with a couple of clients at the moment where we're setting some very micro goals. It's like one thing. What's one thing that's going to be healthy for you, that's going to support you over this next 7 days? And then I'm going to check in through the week, and then let's see how you feel at the end of that 7 days. How did that go? And so, for instance, it might be steps. And let's just say that you're hardly moving at all at the moment. You're doing 4,000 steps a day. Let's get it to 5,000. And let's do that for 7 days. And then at the end of the 7 days, you do a bit of a self-evaluation. So how easy was that for you? Was it a stretch? Do you think you can do that again? And then you just add from that. And so if, let's just say that you say, yeah, look, I did that. Gee, it was hard, but yeah, I could do it. Okay, we're not going to add anything else. I want you to do that again for another 7 days. And then at the end of that 7 days, so now we've got 2 weeks. So actually, yeah, it was okay. And I actually found that I did 7,000 steps. Okay, terrific. Well, let's make that new goal 7,000. And we're going to add in one more thing. Now, what that could that be? For some people, it could be water. And it's like, well, how much are you drinking at the moment? Oh, I'm drinking about 500 mils. Okay, well, that's nowhere near enough. But let's see if we can get it to 800 mils, because that's normally like one of these sort of drink bottle sizes. Let's see if we can do that for the next 7 days. Keep doing the other one, and now we're adding that one in too. So now we've got two goals. Not super hard, but remember, we're trying to change a lifetime of poorer health choices. And I can give somebody the whole plan up front, say, okay, bam, we're going to hit it. And some people, they want that, and they want that accountability to stick to that, and there's consequences if they don't. But other people, we've got to find out what is the reason that caused them to fail in the past, and how do we set them up so that they never ever fail again. And I find that it's kind of breaking through, and it's individual for each person to find what is that one thing that we can do for this week. So it's a good question. It's crucial, absolutely crucial. All right, next question. How can someone leverage community support to boost their fitness and wellness journey? Yeah, so I think for that one, I personally find it more and more challenging. The more success that you have in your life, the people that maybe want a piece of you increases, and the people that perhaps you want to then surround yourself with the right type of energy is really important. So toxic energy, it's like, okay, I'm not interested in that. People that are very like match your energy, very successful in business and what it is that they do, they're the people that I want to be spending time with, because we lift each other up together, and you just have different conversations. And if you've already got some success, and you've taken steps to remove that toxic energy from your life, you know exactly what it is that I'm talking about here. So in terms of finding that community support, it can be a challenge. Like, yeah, thanks, Siri. The where I say the benefit in my clients, I call it my fitness family, because they really are like, they really, they're deep in my heart. I know a lot about each and every single one of my clients. We know each other on I know them better than they know me, I suppose. But it's getting to know your clients on a deep level so that you can understand what's going on for them. And I can go through every single one of my clients and say, yeah, this is exactly what's going on in their life right now. This is what's important to them right now. These are their biggest challenges. These are their strengths. This is what we're doing to move forward, et cetera, et cetera. And so we have a community within, say, my client base. In terms of being able to find that outside of you, look, sometimes your household can be great support, but at the same time, they may not be your best accountability partners either. So let's just say the gym. So I train at a public gym as well, just to get away from my own facility. I don't connect with anyone there. They don't provide sort of I suppose, events or a platform where you would be networking with people. You're just all in this big space and you're exercising together. I just want to go there and exercise. I don't want to be bothered by people and all that kind of stuff. But for some people, that's important. I see people chatting. I see guys trying to pick up ladies there, and vice versa, I suppose. But that's not my thing. So I guess the bottom line is you've got to find what it is that you really enjoy doing. If it's the gym, and you want to try and connect with people there, then I would try and find somebody that is perhaps uh, emulating what you want your end result to be. Connect with people online. You'll find some different communities and so forth. I mean, if you follow me, Rob Evans, on my social media or Studios Personal Training, then there's always a good community there. But it's very individualized. So I would say, well, who are the type of people that you want to be hanging out with? What are the community activities perhaps where you can do so? One where I see that like it's free and it's very popular around the world is the park run. So there's one just near me every Saturday morning. That can be a good way for people to connect with each other. So I suppose you've got to do a little bit of research and see what are the activities in your community, who are the people that you want to be spending that time with that emulate the health and fitness goals that you want to achieve, and go there. So it's a little bit of experimenting. All right, next question. What role does gut health play in overall wellness, and how can it be optimized through diet? So this is something that has become, I suppose, where I don't know, maybe 5 years ago, where this term of superfoods, like when I first started training, the concept of superfoods never existed. And people now just put a label on superfoods. Well, yeah, guess what? Broccoli is a superfood. But I think people think superfoods and they're thinking of these rare berries from the deep reaches of the Amazon jungle that only native people eat and all that kind of stuff. And gut health, I think, is the sort of the buzzword for the moment, but it's very important. So, for instance, I have a number of clients, and I've had various clients over time that have a lot of gut issues, and whether it be Crohn's disease or whether it be IBS or just various intolerances, whether it be gluten, so celiac, lactose, soy, various things like that. And so no one knows your body like you do. And I guess as we evolve in life, it's experimenting with different foods to see what are there certain things that say bloat you, for instance. There are certain foods that make you feel really unwell. Like I can't eat creamy foods. I can't eat spicy foods. I mean, I can eat them, but I feel very unwell. I can feel bloated. I can feel a little bit sick. And I think part of that is just because I've conditioned myself over 3 decades now to eat fairly cleanly with mild flavorings. Whiskers has decided to say hello. Welcome to the call, Whiskers. You sit down there, boy. Yeah, and for all of those clients, it's really about coming up with what are the safe foods for them. Like I have clients that have IBS that follow the FODMAP rule, and then it's just even fine tuning that, because there are different things that can really flare them up. So It's a lot of experimenting, but it's really, really important because if you just think about it, if your tummy is always upset or you're feeling bloated, then you're not going to be absorbing the right nutrients. There's clearly something, so you're not supposed to feel like that all the time. So there's something wrong, and we need to find out what it is. Now, normally you can do some sort of experimenting yourself by just change one food at a time. Don't change a whole bunch because you won't know what it is. In this day and age, I normally say to people, start with gluten. So go for a week and remove gluten from everything. And don't change anything else to see how you feel. If there's absolutely zero difference, then generally speaking, it's probably not gluten. And then I say, okay, let's try dairy, try lactose, and then remove that. So add gluten back in, and then try those other things. Sometimes it's just certain foods. Like I used to eat heaps and heaps of broccoli and cauliflower come from the same plant family, but they can tend to make me gassy, tend to make me a little bit more bloated. So I tend not to eat those as much. So it's a little bit of experimenting, but it's super, super important, your gut health. It absolutely is. All right. Three questions left. How can someone maintain a healthy lifestyle while traveling frequently for work or pleasure? Yeah, look, I find that my clients they go with the best intentions. Yeah, I'm going overseas for a bit, but I'm gonna go to the gym and do this and that and whatever. And I try and set them up with an expectation. Okay, I say, look, if you could focus on, say, going to the gym, say 3 times a week still at where you're staying, do it in the morning before you go and, go to your work or whatever. Just focus on 20 minutes, but if it's going to be an hour, you're not going to do that because you just don't know exactly what, like most gyms that are in, say, hotel facilities are normally not awesome. So I normally design a workout that people can do just in their motel room. Might take 10, 15, 20 minutes max and do it that way. But most clients come back to me and say, oh, yeah, no, I just did some walking because for whatever reason, they're just not as connected. But I think the first part is your focus. So make sure that you know your schedule. Normally, if you travel, so like I'm traveling in this next week, it's super tight. It's very quick. Fly in, media commitments, fly out the next day. I may get a chance to do a workout on the morning, on the second morning that I'm there. So I'm going up in the daytime, and it's for a night function, and then I've got some commitments in the morning as well, and then I fly back. So I could get up early and potentially do a workout first thing in the morning, or I will wait till I get back and do it on I'll do one before I go and before I get back. So you've got to know what your schedule is. If you're there for a longer period of time, normally you can make it work. And I would suggest you do it first thing in the morning. Get up earlier, do it first in the morning. Focus on 2 to 3 sessions a week. Focus on 20, maybe 30 minutes max, and get it done. Focus on your food as well, because a lot of people, when they travel, their food declines in terms of the quality of the nutrition and that sort of stuff. And just be realistic about it. If you can only do a 10-minute workout, do 10. Do a 10-minute workout. And yeah, it's just about consistency in your focus. Like you've got to, if you remain always attached to why am I doing this? Why is it important for me to do it? It's because your health is your number one priority. And if you have that always in your mind, you will do whatever it takes to make it happen. Like think about it, if it's a 10-minute workout, get up 10 minutes earlier. That's all it is. So yeah, I find it easy because it's just so ingrained in me. But some people find it challenging, but it comes down to focus, attached to your goals again. Why am I doing this again? And then you'll just get it done. But just don't overcommit to it. Okay, what are the emerging trends in? Oh gosh, I get this one a bit. Emerging trends in fitness and wellness that people should be aware of. Well, look, I don't. There's things always changing. Like I look at the gym where I go now. They've got lots and lots of pieces of equipment, probably hundreds of pieces of equipment. And if I think back to when I first started training in 1988 to the type of equipment that there is now, the biggest area where I've seen changes in equipment in the gym is all to do with hip thrusters. And why that? Because you see some influencers on Instagram with I don't know, the perfect butt, if you like, and then that's a matter of judgment as well, doing all these butt exercises and doing hip thrusters and stuff. So there's so many different machines now at the gym doing that. Or you see people doing, particularly ladies, doing the like hip extensions and so forth, where you sit in it like this, and these your legs going out, pushing out like that, and where the pad's on this side and you come in like that. See lots of exercises like that. Um, and that's just a trend, but due to social media, that is the bottom line. Are they the best exercises? Nope. But there's more and more equipment in the gym. It's costing thousands and thousands of dollars because people are seeing people online doing those things. And they're actually quite dangerous. I see how much people load themselves up and they normally do the exercise wrong and all that kind of stuff. So that really annoys me. Um, I think where we're starting to see more and more, it's all to do with the mindset, right? So, things that are going to help you improve your mental health. Um, that is the space that I think is important to keep focusing on. I mean, I think that's the current pandemic that we live in. And mental health around the globe has been the worst that it's ever been. And any steps that we can do to help us work on ourselves in that space is really, really powerful. I mean, I've been on 60 Minutes and Channel 9 News talking about the social media and the impact that it has on our young people. And this is to me what's concerning when I see young girls and or ladies, if you like, young ladies that are in the gym doing some of these exercises, and I know that they've got it from social media. And it's like, so what else are you picking up from social media? So what are you? You're obviously following somebody that you think's got the perfect butt. What are they telling you about food? They're usually not qualified people to do these things, and yet these trends just get. They start off with one person, they just get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger because it's somebody that looks good on social media. So to me, that's really troubling. And so we need to be very careful about those things. I don't think there's anything like particularly unique that is coming out in the space of fitness and wellness. I mean, there's with AI and everything. I mean, you can find some different apps where you can find some AI like avatars, if you like, that will exercise to show you what it is to do. There's like Peloton and there's a couple of others where you pay a monthly subscription and you can do the workout with somebody. I mean, you can just jump on YouTube and find something and do something similar. Some people find that really motivating for them. Great. To me, it's not interesting at all. Um, I don't think there's anything brand new. I think watch this space in terms of what's coming out in terms of mindset and that kind of thing to help us in that space, because we all need to be keeping on working on ourselves. But yeah, I don't. Similar to the technology, I think don't go looking for something that's going to, wow, that's going to completely change what it is that I do. You've got to stick to the fundamentals. Think health, think pain-free, think sustainability, think about progress, what that looks like for you. But do the work on defining what health means to you and how important that is to you. Focus on the fundamentals. Like I said about these fancy machines and all that kind of stuff. Focus on functional mobility, focus on where you're going to get the biggest bang for your buck. And you need to work with somebody that's been doing it for years, knows exactly what they're talking about to set you up with the right form and technique. I saw some people doing some very heavy deadlifts and squats. I was a guy and a girl in a Smith machine today, very, very unsafely. And I'm like, man, where did you do, what did you do to pick up that form? Like it's all wrong. They're going to injure themselves. Um, yeah, so you've got to stick to the fundamentals and get a coach that's going to help you do that. All right, last question. How can creative visualization techniques improve athletic performance and personal well-being? Well, at the time of recording this, I think there's one day of today, I think is the last day of the Olympics. And you listen to the Olympians talk about how they've been visualizing, if they've won gold or they're there, they've been visualizing that moment for like 4 years. And you that is what drives them, because they can see like the gold medal being put around their neck. They can see themselves standing on the podium. They can see themselves with their arms up in the air and singing the national anthem and those types of things. It's super, super important, because what the mind can see, we can then work towards achieving. If you can't see it, then you won't just, oh, guess what? I just went out for a run and guess what? I won the gold medal in the marathon. That's not going to happen, right? You've got to be very, very focused in what it is that you want to achieve. It doesn't matter. This was about an athletic performance, but it doesn't have to be just that. It's the visualization in anything. If you can see what success looks like, what that end result is, and that's super, super important to you, then you will do whatever it takes to get there. And you're not going to do it by yourself. You need to get the right coaches. Think about all the top people in the world, all those Olympians. They all talk about thanking all the people around them. And there'll be multiple coaches. There'll be family members. There'll be those, sports psychologists, all those sorts of things, and people that are going to help support them to achieve what it is that they want to achieve. But not one of those people can say, be in the person's body at the time that they need to compete. It then comes down to them. All they can do is prepare them as much as possible. Okay, here you go. You can do this. You can see it. Now it's up to you. And that's the lonely, isolating part of athletic performance. It comes down to you. No one else can do like I trained legs today, and no one else can do the leg press for me. I've got to do it. I can watch someone else do it and say, yeah, good job. Yeah, you're lifting heavier than me. Well done. But that does me go, no good, right? I've got to do the work, and just like you do too. So, um, yeah, it's all super important. You've got to be able to see what it is that you want to achieve. Yeah. So that's it for this week. Thanks for the questions, everybody. Have a great Sunday. Have a great week ahead, and stay focused. See you next week.